We're going to go easy on her. Tony, go ahead.
I've heard of this thing called the Cosplay Curse, where they overplan too many costumes. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it more in people who do more simple outfits because they'll pick one character and do like 5 versions of that same character in a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I don't do or understand, but I have great respect for people who actually
That
feel
means
like
you have to have a room at the hotel. Because you got to have space for all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I've seen Kelsey's closet for costumes.
Oh, no.
I have a whole rack in my basement.
Oh, wait. I remember I was driving some friends up to Anime North, and their costumes, I had a Ford Taurus wagon, and their costumes took up all the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes people, if there's like 3 or 4 people in a room, like one car will have all the costumes and props, and one car will have all the people.
All the people in it. Okay.
I only take one passenger with me.
Uh-huh.
Typically, that's my limit is one passenger because I fold down both my back seats. And for a big con, you know, for an out-of-state con, I will fill the entire back of my car. And it's like, okay, who am I taking? Which one of you doesn't cosplay or has no luggage? You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can bring a backpack that's got to sit on your lap.
Yep.
Pretty much.
I do have a friend like that, so.
All right, here's another on-the-spot question for you, Rika. Is there a character that you have not yet attempted, but you're like, it's a holy grail kind of a character, one that you just want to try or you're working on right now?
Yes, I added that to my drawing board for some time in 2017, hopefully.
Okay. Do you want to spill who that is, or you want to hold the mystery on that?
It's not a specific who, but I've always, when I first started, I was like, man, you know, I played World of Warcraft a lot when I first started cosplaying, and then I, you know, quit because I wanted to pass college. But,
yeah, I'm so glad I discovered World of Warcraft in my adult years, because if I had found it when I was in college, that would have been bad. It would have been very bad.
Absolutely. I definitely played a lot during my earlier years in college, and that was not going to be able to spill over to when I was cosplaying. But I told myself right from the beginning, one day I'm going to do something for World of Warcraft. And I didn't really want to do a specific named character because a lot of them have already been done.
Right.
But I picked an armor set and a class, which was the Undead Priest.
Okay.
That I've wanted to do since forever, since that was one of my main characters. And it's going to happen eventually.
Okay.
I just have to have more time on my hands, for sure.
All right, just to kind of clue you in on how much of a Warcraft geek I am, what tier on the armor set?
Absolution.
Okay, I know the one.
The one with the faces on the shoulders.
Yep, I know the one. Yep. I've never played a priest, but I've seen a few of them.
Well, you know those styrofoam heads that people put their wigs on?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to, mutilate those and then kind of seal them and paint them and turn them into the part of the shoulder armor. So
nice.
Kind of like this, wow.
I can't wait to see that. I really can't wait to see that. That's going to be awesome.
Someday. Probably, I don't know, late 2017, I'm hoping. Originally, I was thinking early 2017, but not with the semester I have next semester.
No, I can imagine. Well, as always, I'm always telling you, if there's anything we can do to help, let us know. Even if it's just standing around holding things in place while the glue dries.
You know, sometimes just having someone stand there creepily and yell at me makes me more productive. Otherwise, I'm like, I can take this break.
Hey, as an executive director, I can definitely do that. Now I'm repositioning myself in the studio right now, and I'm looking in Kelsey's direction.
He's getting out of hitting range.
I'm not getting out of hit. I'm refocusing.
You don't need to be out of hitting range.
I'm going to take the same question I just asked Rika, and I'm going to pose it to you now. Because I like this. You guys are my voices here, so I want to hear what you have to say. Is there a dream, a holy grail character that you are looking forward to doing?
Well, I don't know if I even have the skill set possible for this one. But I've always wanted to cosplay something from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
Okay.
And I'm currently working on my Zelda cosplay, but I really want to cosplay Girahim.
Okay, I don't know who that is. Tell me a little more about the character. And that's just from the video game, right? Okay.
Yeah, he's the Demon Lord. His hair's ridiculous, but not as ridiculous as it could be, considering other anime hair. But
anime hair,
just with all the pointy, spiky things.
He just has like this. I don't even know how to describe it.
There were hand gestures involved in that attempt at a description.
It kind of just brushes over one eye. And,
okay.
the other side is pulled back.
Over one eye.
That's true.
The other side is pulled back, so I need some kind of.
I've seen that in Kingdom
Hearts.
Hearts.
A swoosh.
Yeah. And so, but his outfit is the most ridiculous thing. It's like a leotard that
I
goes
actually know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
I know
ridiculous.
Someone who did it one time.
Oh my gosh. So it's
I'll have
a
to get you in
leotard.
contact with her.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go.
So Rika is going to get Kelsey in touch with that person. That's awesome. See, that's connections.
Diamond cutouts.
I'm learning a lot, actually, because when I think of cosplay, now even going to Fan Expo, which is one of the bigger cons in North America, I think of seeing 50 Harley Quinns within half an hour.
Oh, yeah, that's the Suicide Squad effect, right? Yeah.
Even before that.
It was just, that's what happens when there's a fad thing. You see a million of one thing.
Now, one of the coolest things, the reason I started watching Doctor Who, or one of the reasons, was that my wife and I saw someone dressed as a weeping angel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really cool.
To the point where, let's go up and ask them who they are, because we didn't know. And when that's something we've got to look into. But Wayne, you and Chris, Mystery Science Theater 3000, I saw someone dressed as Gypsy at Niagara Falls Comic-Con.
Oh, wow.
And to me, that was my favorite thing ever, because there was just many people that had no idea who that was. And I got the biggest kick out of seeing Gypsy. Has anyone ever come up to you cosplayers and said, who are you? And then hopefully got into whatever it was that...
I think what you're asking is, have we ever done something that's nostalgic that no one knows, but then you get that one person that recognizes it and gets doubly excited,
well,
right?
That, and it's someone that maybe doesn't know who you are, but your costume is so good, they ask you about it.
Absolutely, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people who don't know they'll walk into a convention, they don't know what anything is, but they're like, you look really cool, can I take a picture of you? They don't care.
Yeah.
That's how the Weeping Angel effect would be.
Yeah.
Children like anything. I feel like taking a child to a convention is brilliant, because it's like Disney World for free.
Exactly.
There's all these costume characters walking around. And I mean, I wouldn't speak on behalf of the entire community, but I think most of us are pretty good at dealing with the general public and with children when it comes to posing for photos. We're used to it.
Oh, I've seen it often. I mean, well, Kelsey and her surly human sidekick, Emily, my other favorite intern. I'm going to pay for that one later when Emily sees me finally. But, the two, they do the sisters from Frozen. At a lot of when we go out and we advertise the convention at various places like Strong Museum will play, things like that, they'll do Anna and Elsa. And just to see the expression on the children's faces when
their eyes are saucers.
Oh my God, it's amazing, and it never gets old. It's like every time we do it, we're bringing Anna and Elsa again. It's is this going to get tired? No, because
I did that myself for a while, and it got a little tired. It got a little tired.
It got a little tired.
It got a little tired.
A little
very grabby.
For the people cosplaying it, yes, but just like.
But seeing the expression, and then and you and Em are so good with the kids too. You're so patient with them. They'll come up for the pictures and whatnot. And what the last time we were at Strong, and the guy just handed you the baby?
Oh, yeah, this woman was just like, can you take a picture with him? And I'm like, sure. And I expected her to, like, hold her own baby.
No.
She just hands me this child. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I've, like, never held a baby in my life, and this woman just trusted me with her infant.
Oh, well, you're a princess. Lord. There you have. Yeah. You must have some sort of royal decree, right? Okay.
Yeah. That was really scary.
I mostly did birthday.
I have a question for our cosplayers, and I hope they don't take this the wrong way or come across as offensive. What first drew you guys to get into the cosplay?
Yeah, that's completely offensive, Deanna. What the hell?
Yeah, I'm upset.
I better delay that.
Let's put that on delay. What the hell? God,
I need a safe space. I'm offended.
Do I need to bring pizza?
That would be really great.
There we go.
Because some people, if you ask them why they do stuff, they get very defensive, and because they might have other issues or something. I think it's interesting that there are some people who look at that as just dressing up, and some people look at it as cosplaying.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some people who also believe it's a form of escapism, and that we all just are so deeply damaged that we hate to be ourselves, that we need to be someone else to be happy.
I've heard that theory, actually.
The only theory that I've heard that's like, quote, offensive. And I mean, if people really want to feel that way, then I can't imagine that they'd want to be around a convention anyway. But for the rest of us, I mean, I think the art of creating the costume, if you're somebody who creates costumes, is definitely a large part of it, because it's therapeutic to make something until you start crying when you mess up. Then it's not therapeutic anymore.
That Warbler was $80.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's a learning experience. It's learning a new skill. It's meeting new people from all over the country. I mean, I think what originally got me into it was just the general draw of doing something different that I'd always wanted to do since I was younger. But then what kept me was meeting all the new people. And you see these people again every year because you go to the same cons.
Mm-hmm.
And as you travel, you meet people who are also traveling from far away that you wouldn't normally see at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes this like tight knit group of people that you never see outside of cons, and it's so magical when you do get to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And this is not going to be the only conversation we have on a podcast about cosplay. All right. So going forward, I want to bring in some other elements, and we're not wrapping up just yet, but I want to make sure that we understand that there's a lot to this. This is a very deep and complex kind of a thing. So kind of topic that I want to touch on a little bit is how cosplay can be considered a little on the risque side. And what that does in terms of the mantra that Kelsey and I were talking about in the warm-up for the 2016 FC3, cosplay is not consent. So these are the things that I want to talk about as well. And so Rika, if I can get some of your thoughts on that, because have you seen out in the culture that things can get a little dicey?
Absolutely. Yeah, especially at bigger cons like New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of things that are happening without, I wouldn't say without consent because it sounds so much more dramatic than it really is, but when at New York Comic Con, for example, people will take your photo without asking, and if you're trying to adjust your costumes, change, or eat.
Yeah.
And they'll just do it anyway. The even deeper, worse side of that is some people claim that they've been touched or approached, or that one of my friends said that she was motorboated once.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's things that happen that you really wish they didn't, or you don't see them coming. One of my other friends had somebody stick their finger in her mouth because she had fake teeth in, and he wanted to touch them.
Oh my God!
So
there's some weird stuff going on out there.
Yeah.
So there's definitely boundary issues.
Boundaries, yeah.
But I think that's more to do with the people coming to the convention who have no idea.
Uh-huh.
So that's why we're going to make sure that we.
Well, yeah, we're setting the ground rules. I can't speak for any other convention, but I can speak for FC3 because this is what the podcast is about. And I want to make sure that we start that conversation early, because then when May 20th and 21st rolls around next year, people who come to the show know there are lines that are drawn.
Right. And I think the most important thing is to let them know that the staff members will do something if something happens. Whereas
exactly.
at many cons, the staff members will not get involved, or they'll be like, oh, it's hearsay, and they won't bother dealing with something.
Uh-huh.
I think the reason they do that is because they think they're going to be dealing with a lot more accusations than they really are.
Right.
It's not something that happens a lot of the time, but if somebody truly feels unsafe or someone's touched them or tried to take a photo of their skirt or something, the best thing that you can do is, be there and actually, take their issue seriously and try to work it out, because a lot of the time, especially with bigger cons, the staff are so busy with other things. They're kind of laissez-faire. They're like, work it out yourself. They aren't really there to help people feel safer. Whereas if you say, if you feel uncomfortable or somebody says something inappropriate to you or they touch you, you can come get a staff member at any time.
Exactly, and that's the kind of thing we're working on, like doubling our volunteer staff so we can cover more ground. And as in my personal opinion, as one of the 5 executive directors, and and Deanna and Tanya are on that same list with me. We've I don't know if zero tolerance, because you don't want to run the risk of being too heavy-handed, but I want to make it very clear that I want cosplayers to come to FC3 and know there is a level of safety that they can expect. That if something happens, that we're not going to we're not going to brush them off. We're going to take them seriously. That we'll talk to people, and we'll be happy to give people warnings and say, hey, if there was a miscommunication, I want you to be aware that there was now this is where we stand, and then that's your one warning. Anything else, and guess what? There's the door. Have a nice day.
Right, absolutely.
So and that's important, because when you're putting yourself out there, because for me, cosplay has always been one of those more ultimate levels of expression. Like, I'm a writer. I write books, and for me, I don't have to worry about it. I launch the story out there. If you read it and like it, great. If you don't, I'm not too stressed out about it, because I'm not doing this for a career. I have a safety level because I'm sitting at my desk at home.
Right.
And
this is something where people will rip apart your appearances.
Exactly.
It's much
to
more
your
personal,
face.
for sure.
I would imagine there's going to be some in person. Kelsey, you've seen some of that happen. I can see you're like, yeah, oh my God, you started cringing as soon as I brought that up.
It's pretty rare though. Most people are pretty cowardly and
most people, like, either they'll throw some shade online or they'll just like snicker off with their friends, and you'll hear about it maybe or probably not. Most people are just not that mean that they would go up to someone like me who's a child and be like, wow, you suck. Like, they don't usually do that.
I can imagine it would happen, though. But this, I can imagine that, like I was saying, cosplay is that ultimate sense of really just personal expression at this kind of a level, at this kind of an event. You're really putting yourself out there, and saying, hey, this is me, accept me or not, but this is me, and I'm having fun with this, and it's a lot more personal that way.
Well, and also beyond this is me, it's this is me, and I'm imitating this character, and I think for some